Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So on the facial boxes, this is what the facial box looks like, and it usually has a pin attached too. And it's just one of these gable boxes. You can get them from Hobby Lobby, I think Amazon. You can get them on Amazon too. And then you just print off, and we can post these on Boxer for anybody that needs them. But it's just the little entry forms. You cut them, hole punch them, and then tie them to a little ribbon so that they can just rip them off and fill it out and drop it. You always put a little hole, a little slot right here so they can drop it in there. And then we also have these you can print, cut out, and just attach to the front. Attach your cute little ribbon. You know, you don't want to put a whole lot of money into these because they can get tossed. They can get picked up by other consultants. So you don't want to put a ton of money into them. And then, of course, over time, they tend to wear down. So, but anyway, it's real simple, easy. All you need is hot glue, ribbon, the entry forms, the sign, and a gable box. And so I actually, and you can decide on this one, it says, drop in your business card or fill out an entry form to receive an ultimate pampering session with a microdermabrasion treatment and a $20 gift card. Now you can choose whatever amount you want, $20 gift card, or you can even change up your wording for it too. So I take these, and I actually mapped out the area around me and actually spent the day with my husband. It's kind of our time together. As long as I take him to dinner or lunch, he's happy to drive me around and drop off my facial boxes. So he'll just drop me off at the door. I run them in, and when I first drop them off, you always want to go, you want to dress nice. I wear my Mary Kay face mask because, you know, I can't enter a nail salon without a face mask. And so you want to dress nice, and you can go to nail salons, boutiques. I think somebody mentioned recently they went to a vinyl place, trying to think, daycare, anywhere that'll let you set this out, whoops, that has traffic that comes in. And you always want to go in, like I said, dress nice, wear your Mary Kay face mask, and you just basically ask them, hey, can I set this out to allow your customers to enter for a gift certificate? And you can offer to buy a gift certificate from them too, just for allowing you to put your boxes out. I've not had to do that yet. I don't think most of the ones I went in and I said, hey, can I drop this off? Can I set this out? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. I don't have to go through I've not had to go through I'll buy a gift certificate from you part of it. So, but what I did is for those that have been producing right before Christmas, I took them one of the satin hand soaps and attached a little ribbon to it with my business card to it and took it as a thank you. So when I went to switch a box out, I was like, here's a thank you gift from me. It's just a little hand soap. So that was something to kind of give back to them and show them a little appreciation. And let's see, you want to get as many out as possible. Expand outside of your home. Like where I live now in Dawsonville, so I went over to Gainesville. I do need to hit up some of the other surrounding cities too, because that way you can expand your business out. And let's see. Sorry. And so what I do is I usually give it about 2 weeks that I go and I pick up my boxes. And when I do, I always take another empty box with me. And it's another day I get my husband to go with me again. So I take the empty box with me and I go in and say, hey, I'm here just to switch it out. So I just switch it out so I'm not having to stand there and take the names out. And it's just a quick, easy, it saves you a lot of time just to switch out. So when I get back to the car, I take all the names out and I bundle them together, either with a paper clip or an envelope. That way I can keep track of where the names came from. So when I go to text them, I'm telling them where they entered at. And so I just go in, swap it out, take the names out, and then go on to the next one, take it in, swap it. quick, easy, in and out. And I usually do about every 2 weeks, but if I find that one is not producing as much, I may kind of extend it out a little bit longer. You'll kind of figure out which places are actually producing more than others. And one thing to look at with that I noticed, of course, it's the area, it's the type. Is it more of an upscale nail salon or one of the lower? Some of those make a difference. But I had one that was like really producing, like I would go in and I'd have all kinds of names in it. But they had it sitting right by the register. So as customers were checking out, they were filling it out, dropping it in. But the last 2 times I went to pick up and I had like one name. I'm like, what's going on with this? Well, what happened is they moved it from the front counter by the register to a counter behind them. Well, it's not even at a place where the customers sit to dry. So it's, people aren't stopping to take time to really look at it. So that's why I'm not getting a whole lot of names. And then I had one I dropped off that I was getting nothing. Well, they set it on the drying table, but they set it sideways like this with something like this in front of it. So people aren't seeing it. So always keep that in mind. If they're not going to set it, if it's not going to sit somewhere that customers are going to see, like that one place, I haven't been back to that one, it's just not worth your time to stop and go in. And one little trick that Michelle had taught me is to, like, when you drop yours off, go ahead and fill out one of the entry forms with your name in it and drop it in, because other consultants, believe it or not, will take them. I went to pick one up and they're like, oh, somebody from your company's already picked it up. I was like, no, they didn't. And I think it was Michelle. Didn't you say that one time you did that and you got a call from someone that had picked up your box?
Yeah, it was actually one of my consultants. They called her. And honestly, I don't know that it's as much as Mary Kay people, but other direct sales.
Yeah.
So, because we're pretty, our standards of people that come into our company are pretty, excellent. But then you've got these other, they still, so like I don't want to say we're recording, but it was always other companies that was stealing the names.
Yes.
And you said, sorry, Tammy, you said you put your name where?
I just fill out one of the entries and I drop it down in the box. So if somebody else picks it up and they go to make the phone calls or send the text, they're calling me and it's from my box. So
you can figure out who she is and you can call her out on it. And heck, I'd even get on her Facebook page and just rat her out. Let everybody know what a snake she is. Look, I'm feeling a little angry today. You can stalk her. You think?
Yes. So that's just one little trick with that. And so I'll now once I get my names, what I do from there is I come back and actually I use Scipio. I've been using Scipio and it's cut a lot of the work out for me, and it's making it a lot easier for me to track these names and these leads from the facial box. And of course, Scipio would be a whole nother training, but I can go in and set Scipio up and I can set it up. And sometimes I may, depending on the time, I may start out with a phone call, leave a voicemail, and then send my text messages. Sometimes if it's not a good time, I may send the text messages and then follow up with a phone call. But I usually like to try to do both at some point in time in the contacts, just in case it's someone that doesn't respond to text messages that you might be able to catch on a phone call. But then a lot of people do not answer phone calls that they don't know the numbers to. So once they see your text, then they might answer your call. So I always like to try to throw a phone call in there sometime or another in the midst of the contact. But I always start out with my text. My first initial text to them is, this is Tammy with Mary Kay. Of course, I start out with their name and I send my virtual business card. So it's, hey, Michelle, this is Tammy Garmany with Mary Kay. You entered a drawing at so-and-so nail salon, and you are one of my grand prize winners for the microdermabrasion treatment and $20 gift certificate. Congratulations. When is a good time to chat more about your prize? Now, that's very important, that when is a good time to chat more about your prize. I made the mistake in a group of texts that I sent out. Initially, I switched my wording up for some reason. This wording's worked, but for some reason, I decided to switch it up. And it said, and that one was, when is a good time to chat? Or would you prefer to chat, to call, or something about a phone call or a text? And they're like, text. Well, that goes nowhere. That absolutely, none of those went anywhere. They responded, text is good. And then that's as far as it got. So having that, when's a good time to chat, is a much better option, because you get to follow up with a phone call, and you get a whole lot further with a phone call than you do with just texting. And then of course, you know, once if they say, oh, well, now's a good time, or some have said, hey, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So I set my reminder on my phone, call so-and-so at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And so when I talk to them, it's like, hey, this is Tammy, congratulations. And then of course they'll ask, you know, what is this? And it's, you know, I'm like, well, it's a Mary Kay facial. I can do it at your house. I can come to you. We just sit around your table, or you can come to my house or any other place you would like. And I do have, my dining room is set up just for my Mary Kay facials. And so with a lot of my customers, or the leads up in this area, every one of them have said, hey, I'll just come to you, which works out perfect for me, because I either log off at lunch and go in there and do a quick facial during my lunch break, or log off after work and then go in there and we do a facial. But so it's, you know, I can come to you or you come to me, and then I always let them know, hey, bring a friend, as many friends as you want over the age of 18. I'll give, or bring a friend as many as you want. For every friend over the age of 18, I'll add $10 to your gift card. And so most of them have brought at least one guest with them. So that's worked out really well. And so I send that initial text, and then and then I'll send another follow-up. Let's see, what was it? About 3 days later, I do 3, 6, 10, 20, and 45 days. So the second one I send is, hey, I did not hear back from you. Wanted to make sure you saw my previous text. I don't want you to miss out on this awesome microdermabrasion treatment and $20 gift certificate. When is a good time to chat? And then once it gets down to about the 10th day, I'm like, I know let's see, let me find it. Hold on. Let's see. I will assume, it says, if I do not hear back from you, I'll assume you are really busy right now, and I'll follow up in a few months. I can't wait to fill you in on the details. So then I follow up 45 days after, or no, that's 45 days from the initial contact that I follow up. So, and I have had some come back to me and say, hey, I forgot to get with you. Is it still good? Can I still claim my gift card? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I had one that was like months later. She responded and she's like, hey, can I still do this? I was like, yes, anytime. So those are my follow-ups on that. And then of course you always, as with any booking, you want to keep in mind your time of day. If you're sending out a text, you want to make sure that it's not at a time that most women are going to be driving from work to home or in the middle of picking up, because we all know how that happens. We'll see that text, we're driving, that text will come through. We won't think anything about it. And then we don't think anything about it. And then it's like later on, you don't see it. You just forget about it altogether. So I always kind of try to aim for around like 7 p.m. because that seems to be a good time that people tend to respond to me. It's a time that most of them have gotten the kids home, or have finished dinner, and have a little bit more time to sit and look. Of course, you don't want to contact anyone after 9 p.m., but between that 7 between 7 and 8, or between 7 and 9 is usually a good contact time. And of course, I've gotten more no's and more non-responses than I have yeses. And that's why it's very important to get these out to as many as you can get out, because you are going to get some good names. You're going to get some good referrals and some good contacts. But as far as the ratio, somebody asked me at one time, and I do need to check on that and see what it is. But again, you are going to get more non-responses and no's. Let's see. And then, sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. Just went blank.
I probably did that to you because I was responding to Erica.
That maybe it was. I saw that pop up, and it was like,
I was gonna write it down, but my pen won't write, and I'm like, I'll forget to answer her.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I do with my names too. So this is a stack that I've gotten in. And so all I was doing it one other way, and I found out this is a little bit better. I just print off just this plain, just a spreadsheet. I'll write the names down through here. I just staple this to it, and then I'll just kind of look. That just gives me a way to look at the names and remind me when to follow up. Fortunately, with Scipio, I've got Scipio set up, so it does automatically send those reminders out. Now, if they respond to it, then it kicks it out of that campaign. But if they don't respond, it's going to keep sending the messages. So I don't have to remind myself to go back, that 3rd day or that 10th day to send a text, because it's doing it for me. But it doesn't take a whole lot to track it. Just do something like this, staple this, and just use this to kind of help keep up with it. But I think that's about it. Is there anything that I didn't hit on that you can think of, Michelle?
Well, did you talk about just what your strategy? Did you just look at the map and figure out where you?
Yes, I was going. So yeah, I did look at the map. So when we first headed out that first time, I looked at the map, and so we went. And of course, you don't want to have to do any back and forth. So I kind of mapped it out, the right side, every nail salon or any place on the right side that we could drop off to, and then we kind of do a loop around and then back this way. And then of course, we always keep a couple of empty boxes in the car with you, because if you're out and about and you go somewhere and you go to another city or whatever that you've not been to that's nearby, it's a good opportunity for you to take a minute and run in and drop one off. So always keep a couple of extra ones in the car with you for any time you have an opportunity for another boutique or anywhere. But yeah, that's what we did. We just did the Google map and just marked off, and I made my list, and we just ran and dropped them off.
Are you finding that the most productive ones are nail salons or in small towns or more busier areas?
Yes. I have noticed most of mine right now are right here in Dawsonville. And I've noticed that the ones in the busier shopping centers, of course, at this time of year, have produced a little bit more.
Okay.
Yes.
More foot traffic.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Do you guys have any questions? All right.
Yeah, Mo, I'll share the scripts with you.
Yeah.
Did you get the chats, Michelle?
I did. I think I saw them. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So
also, will you put on Boxer the page that goes on the front of the box and the little forms? If you'll put, I thought I brought one home from when we did the boxes at the thing, but I can't find the extra ones I had.
And Michelle still has quite a few more boxes. I somehow looked up before our facial box day at the studio. I actually looked up and went into Goodwill, and they had a ton of them for cheap. So she still has quite a few of those if anybody needs to get some.
Yeah.
And Tammy, where did you get the plaid?
This one I got from Hobby Lobby. This was before I found the deal at
That's adorable.
yeah, well, what I was doing is I was trying to come up with some. I had some others, and I was like, oh, it's time for a little bit of a change. And those were kind of wearing down a bit, and it was getting close to Christmas. So I kind of wanted to throw something a little.
You can add a sunflower to that too for
Yes.
or summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I just took some extra ribbon that I had sitting around and just tied it onto it. So.
What are these boxes called if I'm looking for them on Amazon or at Hobby Lobby?
Gable boxes.
Gable.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think I've even seen some have been able to place some of them at restaurants. So
yeah, I've heard that they've had really good luck with those.
yes.
Because people are doing takeout and they're just going up to the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think somebody here may have done a post office. Was it you, Erica?
It was Erica. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mind your own business.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of, restaurants, boutiques. Your higher end boutiques are going to be good ones to. I think that's where Debbie had a lot of success. Was in a small town at several boutiques.
Yeah. We did have real good success with that.
Yes, but you want to make sure it's a place where customers are going to either be sitting or waiting or are going to stop for a minute to look at it. So, if it's like a hair salon where they have appointments or they make appointments, then you're not going to get as much out of that because they're going in for their appointment and they're leaving.
Tanning beds are going to be hot right now too from January to June. So now's the time to get them into the tanning beds.
Yes, absolutely. There's something else I was going to say just a second ago. But, with women right now, I know it's a lot of people do not want to get out around other people due to COVID. But, as far as the nail salon, these women are going to the nail salon, yet they're wearing their mask while they're there, but they're comfortable enough to get out to a nail salon. And I've not had a lot of success with a lot of them wanting to have parties right now, which is fine because I'm okay with the single and dual facials. But they are enjoying the time to pamper themselves right now, all the women.
Yeah, Mary Ann had mentioned that on our Director Voxer that she had read an article that people are going to be more focused on themselves. I don't know if that's a good thing this year. And I told you it was so funny because just last night, one of my customers texted me and said her boyfriend wanted skincare for his birthday. And, I took over $80 of skincare this morning or today at lunch. So it's true. I don't know how we figure out what people are going to want, but they fall right into whatever they say people are guessing is going to be the trend. So we definitely need to get ready and have our businesses front and center so that they know what we offer and what we do. Okay.
Yes.
I've noticed that like some spa, like they're not opening because they have to come in contact face-to-face with people. So Mary Kay is your next option of spa treatment.
Oh yeah. I need to set up some winter hydration parties, virtual for like this. I don't have anything scheduled for this week, so I think I'll do one.
Nice.
We can do those really quickly. So I'll get I think Wednesday night I'm free. So anytime where I have an open schedule, I'll plug that in so that we get going with that again until my calendar gets filled up again. Okay. All right. So y'all, next week, I want to go ahead and tell you guys what we're going to be training on. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm going to be working all this week on researching skin, how skin ages, why it ages, acne, everything, oily skin, dry skin. We're going to have a whole skin university. And so if you've got team members, tell them to join in, get everybody on because it's going to be a lot of facts about skin, and you'll be able to use this information to kind of incorporate it into your presentations. And even when your customers ask you about things, you'll be able to say, well, this is why you lose moisture. This is why you started out oily as a young adult, and why you're at this age, you're dry. Here's why. You're going to know all the facts. And, that's just going to help you with knowledge. Confidence comes with knowledge. And so that's what we're going to do. So it's going to be Skin University, and I'm going to be working all week on all that. And I'm super excited because I love learning new stuff. And yes, my tree is gone. The kids thought it was good to have it up, but y'all, the girls are so cute when we open up the Christmas box every year. And I thought, if I leave it up, I lose that excitement from them.
Yeah.
So I took it down. Plus, I'm like, I don't know how well, we have so much dust in our house. My white tree won't be white anymore. So Christmas is over. Woo! Let's thaw.
Yeah.
Did y'all like that? The big thaw?
Yes, I loved it.
I just come up with that stuff. I don't know where I get it from.
You're still recording, aren't you?
I wonder how long it took her to come up with that.